Righty-ho. Sweet ladies there. She's there. She's there. She's there. Hello. Can I pitch something to you? But it's not local, and it's only for arts and the environment.
Okay.
Okay, I've got to film myself doing it. I don't tend to identify the place. You'll understand why in a minute. Okay? It's actually for a film. The reason I'm running it by you, you'll get it.
Right. Okay.
You're one of the very few people. I've had the following conversation 200 times in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You're one of the very few that'll get this. You may even think it might be interesting for your daughter to look at. Simple as this. So, for 20 years, I lived in an area. Imagine here. Don't identify it though, because I'm in danger. I've already written about it, okay?
Right. Okay.
So, imagine 10 times the amount of people living around. The stream, instead of a stream, is a river. Okay? Same kind of people though. So, over 20 years ago, the river was almost pristine. My daughter learned to swim in it. By 10 years ago, okay, it's dead.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the people living around, what happened over 10 years, lots of building, roughly twice as many people came to live in all the barns around, okay? All the housing, my father invented doing up barns, he should be, right, but, so, and then also the farming increased. Don't worry about that, it's only pointing at me.
No, it's fine.
Okay, right, now, over the last 15 years, none of the residents ever went to planning meetings, they never wrote to their MP, they never formed groups, they never had fellowship and solidarity. Now, this river going through here is so, don't worry, there's only 3 more lines now, it's so eco-wonderful, they probably even got David Attenborough to do a film about it, right? It's the most BBC covered river in Britain, by far. Okay? They've had talks about it. Now, all those people living around, now this is not here, it's the River Wye, okay? All these people living around, 2 weeks ago, we need some heavy metal, launched the biggest national lawsuit, £100 million against what they call the polluters. Right? A lot of them are la-di-das. What do you think of the morality of that? You get it. What a load of fucking jerks, right? Quite a lot of them are wealthy. Quite a lot of them are doodah. Now, I happened to have spent 15 years organising groups, I've had 200 conversations. 1,000 actually, over 20 years, right? They never follow through. They're backstab behind your back, never answer emails, never do anything, never go to the planning meetings, never do what you have to do. Oh, let's have a few of us having a cup of tea to organise writing to the MP to put pressure on the MP. Grown-up pressure. Now, total respect, because you're the only one I like. But artists aren't quite of this world, right? The real world is, right, Mr. MP, I used to know the MP quite well, unless you do something about all of this, which is ruin the river, that's well covered, we're going to organise a little group to stand up against you in the next election. We'll find out who your wife is shagging. We'll find, and actually our MP was actually he was a homo. That we'll stitch you up. We'll do something. You're going to stop this development. Now, none of these people ever did that, but they've got the biggest. They've already had BBC big coverage. My dossier, because I'm the most organised person in the world. I might look like a shitty old hippie, but I've got every email, every conversation. I've got many recorded conversations with these people over the years for my own protection, because they're all bitch, they're all trying to stab you. So I'm going to be sabotaging this case to make a point in the media. The only purpose for doing it is as follows, that they're going to spend about 2 million quid on this, at least 1 million, okay? It's only for their own glory. So they could go to dinner. Oh, have you heard about the legal case? Yes, I'm part of it. What a look. Right, because I can't identify where I am, right? I've already written about this online. There are people I've done this before, that will literally want to kill me, right? The film, the bits and bobs of taking this forward, it's only for one purpose, okay? Only one. Okay, I've already written online, I don't want any glory, I don't want to do this, it's boring, okay? I don't care what anybody thinks of me. I'm disgusted at these people who've done nothing ever. Ever. Except, oh, it's so terrible, what's happened to the Y? Okay, no, the purpose is that £1 million, it'll be £1.5 million because it'll go to the appeal court. Okay, they're already doing a massive fundraising, they've had Radio 4 coverage. That money should go to the arts instead. And the arts should be real arts, making film about why have we had the most media-covered river in Britain, you lot swanning around and never doing anything. Because that, to me, is what art should be for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
So,
I need to look up some of this stuff. So.
Oh yeah, I've already got a website about it. But it's like, purely, that's it. And I've had this conversation, it came on Radio 4 2 weeks ago. I did actually send you a Facebook message. Purely, but don't worry, nobody ever reads. I don't know what's happened to it. Don't worry, it's so not interesting, that.
Yeah.
It's purely, because that's it. It's like, I've told a friend of mine who lives up there, and she is brutal in arts funding. And she's been doing it many years, and she also understands these complete, let's just call them SUDs, and everybody needs, it's like, none of them can tell stories. To me, I have a code name for everybody. You're Buzz, because you told me a great story about your bees. No, it's real. You know, they go on Radio 4. Oh. They don't tell stories.
No.
You tell a story.
Yeah.
You know? Buzz, Mrs. Buzz. But seriously, so it's like, that's it. I'm doing it. Don't really want to. I've got one or two friends who are kind of, they're aware, but one of them is like, she lives up there, she moved there 5 years ago, she inherited £500,000, she's a bit of a boozer. She knows it's all false, it's just a joke. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment, you know? And she's in, her career has been in arts funding, and sort of independently, but mainly because of me, I nudged her about a year ago saying, Susie, all the arts in the area is appalling and safe and anodyne, just like here, except for yours. Right, but seriously, she knows that, and she actually independently about a year ago decided she's going to start up a £2 million proper arts centre, which is going to have proper art, to find the new John Osborne, or it should be a woman, so Joanna Osborne. John Osborne changed society correctly. So it's like all the money, but more important than anything, the public attention, the energy is going into this case, because it's like everybody, there is an amusing little thing which I'll add on to the end. It's like oh, we are now the saviours of the planet. It's going to go, it will get so much media coverage. They've staged it, so it's already had big media coverage. Okay? And I'm going to give you a name now, which is almost hilarious, but it's kind of irrelevant. But it's like that energy, because it's the energy. You know you've only got so much energy. You've got to deal with all these tosspot tourists. No, don't worry, there's nothing showing all day, and you've only got half an hour at home, of energy. So everybody's putting their energy now into this to make certain people look good. When I know, because this is what matters to me, they've done nothing. Zero. Nothing. So it's like that energy should go into finding new arts to inspire your 20-year-old. That's because there is no hope. I've been doing environmentalism and nature protection for 20 years. There's no hope. None. Zero. The only hope, in my opinion, and my friend Susie and somebody else I know, is that we've got to have now art that is going to get to the heart, to the pancreas
to actually get the message
of your kid's generation. When she's going to make a film, I don't know how to do it, but there's the funding and the support and no, we're not interested in any more films. Steve McQueen's Broad Axe series really wasn't very good. I watched it all. Okay, we're not interested in films about minorities when our environment has been buggered. Totally buggered. And the very interesting thing is, although it's not actually off the point, the number one person over many years I would kind of speak to about this, who lived in my past area, randomly, I met her in a cover rack, and I didn't even know. She's actually a well-known artist and writer. She writes about the environment, but at the posh end, the beautiful aristocrat gardens. Anyway, I met her on the beach. She was down with her husband at cover rack day before yesterday. Oh, Helena Attlee. I can name her because she's so famous. Helena. I know she's done nothing. I said, do you know about the legal case? Oh, she's beautiful, ex-aristocrat, okay? You can look her up on the internet. Oh, we're part of it. Fuck you, Because it's these people that come and hang out with the posh people who own land, places like here. They're the kind of people. Now, she calls herself a great artist, as does Radio 4. Excuse me, love, what have you ever done? And when I approached her 3 or 4 years ago, when the River Wye was famous in 2020, it was on the front of the newspapers, okay? I approached her in 2020. She lived in the same little village up the road. Helena, come on, we've got time now. We need to be figuring, how can we deal with this? Backstabbing, ignored, bitching, oh, look at him, he's going for a walk when we've got COVID. But forget all that. No, I know she's never done anything. And yet it's this, yes. I think this legal case is immoral. That particular lady doesn't even live there. Hasn't lived there for 10 years. They're claiming 100 million quid. It's not like, sorry, I've got the most famous test case in Britain. I believe in test cases, but this is taking the piss, and it's no example to your kid. At the end. So,